So, have you heard any good news lately?
On what they were watching. And so you can see back in 2013, 30% of the watching was on traditional broadcast networks, NBC, ABC, CBS, and so on. 60% was on other cable services, everything from ESPN to Bravo or whatever. But even though a bunch of folks had streaming services back then, they hardly watched them. There are only a couple of them. Now you look at today, 37% of television watching is streaming services, and that is almost double the percentage that watch traditional over-the-air services, and it's actually even more than the number of people who watch cable services.
Well, there really isn't, especially as far as what was deemed mainstream television is concerned. Streaming has become a bigger juggernaut than it was, say, 10 or even 5 years ago, and the major broadcast networks who solely rely on ad revenue are now shook.
We're in fucking trouble.
Studios are not making enough profit to sustain their programs due to less ad revenue via cord cutting and from competitors like Comcast, WB Discovery, Paramount, TikTok, and YouTube as well. Then to add salt to their wounds, there's the writers' strike who demand their share of royalties with further stipulations. With the advent of streaming, it was only a matter of time when things would reach a boiling point.
Boom, cut the check!
It seems that television has evolved into something more sophisticated courtesy of smarter series with bigger production budgets that deliver an experience as close to cinema, making it more of an asset for the general viewing demographic. Aside from less ad revenues, depending on which service tier you pay for, the selection and variety of shows is much broader, and there is far less censorship when comparing broadcast television to premier cable networks, which are now also being utilized as streaming platforms. As far as both the writer and the actor strikes are concerned, Hollywood execs are at the crossroads and should be prepared to reach a deal with the respective unions. Otherwise, they will lose out on further profit margins as movie and television production can slow down to a halt. Netflix seems close to reaching a deal with the WGA, however, they are not in a rush and can wait it out, especially since subscriptions have skyrocketed after removing the option of sharing passwords. Expect more platforms such as Hulu, Disney Plus, and Max to follow, as this victory has set an uncomfortable precedent for those who benefited from sharing accounts.